Well, actually, the Elks Lodge has got a trailer they go in those schools. This morning we're out of Franklin with that one. Yesterday they were at the high school. Tomorrow they're going to be, I think, at Jefferson or Unity. Just trying the kids get to go through the trailer and get stickers and education material. If they want somebody to talk to them, we'll explain stuff to them.
That's a good trailer. I've worked at myself a couple of times. And we had a good response during Superman Days up there this year. And once you get some young person to come over and actually put the goggles on and stuff like that, they see how funny it is and they start laughing, they bring other kids in. I seen them lined up down through there just to put the goggles on and do the thing. But it had a real good response. And the two young men that we had help us there this year, they were very good interpreters, you might say, that they really connected with the young people. They did a very good job. Very good job.
We had a meeting last week with the Drug Awareness Coalition, and a lady was from Fellowship House come down here and talked about the programs that they've got for the schools, and they pretty well do the 5th grade through the high school. And then I told her what we did is like kindergarten through the 4th grade. So the way it looks like this year, we've got every grade covered with some sort of drug awareness and drug education program.
What can you do in a kindergarten? I mean,
exposing
them aware of it.
Expose them to law enforcement is we're the good guys.
Okay,
now,
okay.
Not the bad guys. Because if they live in a home where their parents are using drugs, we're the bad guys.
Yeah.
Police never comes to the door, don't answer the door, don't talk to them, and we're just trying to break that barrier where they're more receptive to us.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, you can't really teach them what's going on, what's right or wrong, other than your presence. That's cool. Good idea. Are you maxed out over there?
Every day. Yesterday was Monday, the first day of the week, and we had 48.
I read the paper where you mentioned really need a rehab place. I mean, what's our options on that? Is that anything that the state could help fund?
The coalition is working on a grant, and I've talked to a couple of people over at Mental Health, and what's going to be is if you get arrested for drugs and you want to get into a rehab, you're looking at least 30 days in the county jail, maybe 60 before you can get a bed. A lot of people, when they first get locked up, they're ready to go right now. You know, the motivation's up, they want to do something. If you sit there for 60 days, that motivation drops, you give up, you don't want to do anything. If we can get what's called a pre-rehab program, they have classes in the jail. For those 60 days that they're waiting for that bed, they're going to classes a couple times a week, and they're knowing what to expect when they get there. So when they do get there, they can take right on off with the program. And it's not going to be at any cost to us. I mean, it's going to be a better environment for the inmates over there, and maybe we won't get them back as many times.
Where will these classes like be held?
In our gym, the same place they had the church services.
Good if we can get that done.
Yeah. Like I said, the lady from the Fellowship House was down last week. She was interested in it. She said maybe she'd get some state money in on it.
Morning, John.
But the biggest thing where our drug problem is right now, we need a rehab program in Massac County. If we had Natalie Quinn mentioned the nursing home out of Metropolis Street that's vacant. If they could ever get some grant money for that and buy that building and turn it into our Massac County Rehab Center.
Well, Metropolis Street.
Yeah. It may take 5 years to get it done, but there's a need.
Do other counties have the need for that program too? In other words, we could actually draw from some other counties if we needed to keep it full?
If we didn't fill it ourselves, we could bring people in from other counties, get some money for that.
Yeah.
I don't know how many beds will be available out there, but right now you could probably empty half of that jail and put them in rehab.
Wow.
Because everything over there, whether it's burglary to a house, theft, or whatever, it relates back to the drug problem.
Well, what if you got a serious offender in there, not just from drugs, but is violent? Can they go to a rehab like that? I mean, what kind of security does a rehab normally have?
They wouldn't. If you had some for sexual assault or murder, you couldn't let them go to something like that. It'd have to be in-house doing it. But if you had somebody like the drug court that they have now, if you're a first offender and get caught with a meth lab, you spend 60 days in the jail and you get a rehab bed someplace. They send you there for 30 days, then you come back and then you agree to be drug tested 3 days a week.
Mhm.
You could probably waive all that and go straight to a rehab center here, and they could keep you for 6 months. Then you come out and you be on your own. If you violate the policy, then you come back to jail. But that could be 30 to 60 days. I wouldn't have to house them over here. They could go straight there.
Where's the closest rehab facility now?
Showed mental health. There's probably, I think, one in Harrisburg, Carbondale. I mean, we'll call that local. It's an hour away.
Yeah.
But they're just 30-day programs, and that's not enough. People that you arrest will tell them it's not enough, but that's all they can afford.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a serious problem, needs to be addressed, we all know that.
We'll get Shasta to talk into the state legislature. That's what, just asking if there's any money available for a rehab, because that's, you know, instead of sending somebody to DOC, that's gonna stay the state money. If you don't have to put them in prison for 2 or 3 years, you can rehab them here for 6 months.
What kind of success rate they have? You know, like, does a person,
Well, the longer you keep them in, the better are you gonna be, the less chance we have to get back. And you look at 6 months to a year, you have a good program.
Ted, it looks like to me, if that's such a problem, why don't they spend more time at the source?
Who's that?
These drugs. I mean, instead of waiting and picking up the offenders, why not try the doctors giving out the lower tabs and the dope coming from South America? And
Most of the problems we have here are either prescription pills, which is a doctor problem, we'd have to address that, or the meth, which people make their own. It's not like they're buying meth.
Well, that's true.
Coming in like they used to. Now, this is a homegrown problem. You know,
Yeah.
It's like people growing marijuana in the backyard, now they're cooking meth in their kitchen.
Yeah,
There's no
that's right. I forgot
outside
about that.
source.
Yeah. I know somebody buys a bunch of products, you know, they turn them in, you know, which helps, I'm sure.
didn't they change the rule on at pharmacies?
You really only get 3 boxes of pills a month, but that doesn't stop these people from going out and buying them from somebody else. Somebody that's not on meth, they can get 3 boxes a month, they can make them $100, $150 just by buying pills and selling them to somebody.
You know, I had a guy work for me, you know who it is, he don't work there anymore, but he told me he paid his car payment and insurance payment from selling those lower tabs that he, the doctor, just prescribed it for him. I mean, he got $10 a pill or something like that.
Some people get up to $120 a month, so there's $1,200.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That happens a lot.
And the guy didn't even need them, you know. He didn't take them himself, I don't believe.
Well, I think that's a lot of people really don't need what they're given, but they're taking them anyway.
Yeah.
I happened to watch a little, I was speeding marker on 12th Street. I guess it was sometime, maybe Sunday evening. I got back in the car and this young black fella come up and another young fellow was hanging around on a bicycle and everything. They started slapping. All of a sudden I saw him slip something in his hand, he put it in the pocket, and they both split. I mean, they're young.
Yeah.
There's so many people that's not working right now, and they've got a lot of idle time on their hands.
Well, these didn't even look like they should be out of high school.
There will always be a market for drugs.
There's no simple answer to it, that's for sure.
No, it's not. But I mean, I really do think that's something we need to look at in the next couple of years. We can get some people helping us to rehab some of these people so we don't have to keep them so long.
Well, it would help them and it would help us too, as far as our finances, to get them out from under over here.
If I got 47, 48 people up there. Those are not 48 people we've never seen before. It's the same ones over and over.
That's the shame of it right there. So even if these people went through rehab, what's the percentage of them going straight afterwards?
Depends on how long they go. If it's just a 30-day program, I bet it's probably not 50%. We'll come back and get back on it again. Because they've got to have something to come back to once they come out of the 30 days. They got to stay away from their friends that they had when they were kids. They got to have a job. Either that or they're going to sit around the house and think about what they did before, and they'll fall right back into it.
That's what I was telling somebody a while back about, you know, I can understand that they go to all that rehab, they get straightened out, get their head together, but then they go out here and they can't get a job, and they get depressed, they get right back into the same thing. They've got to have something to do.
Go ahead.
Be nice if we had some type of this, you know, factory or something that would give people a chance opportunity.
Yeah.
Just nothing like that out there. There's too many other people out there that need a job, you know, also.
Yeah. Those, drugs, are they like, you know, they say if a guy's an alcoholic, he never gets over it, you know? Is there drugs like that?
Yeah, meth be 10 times worse than alcohol.
Really?
And you only have to take it once or twice.
That's what I hear. You're good.
Well, is there anything we can do for you today, other than pay some bills?
You know, I highlighted the back page. That's the highest I've ever seen, and I know times are bad.
I thought did we not pay any of those last week?
I don't know if there was anything paid last week. Do the best we can, that's all we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, here's the notice on right here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll see what we can do with it. We should be in pretty good shape here pretty soon, I think, so.
And good news for us, gas prices have gone down, so that'll help a little bit.
That'll help a little
Yeah.
bit.
Election time, election time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Thank
Kevin.
you, Lord.
Oh, man, the good news.
And 8,000 less spent on that, so.
I don't want
You can explain about that election, but that's already.
Okay. I showed you the checks that were given to me from a voter registration system. This $8,836, that was deposited, the check was forwarded on immediately.
So in reality, that's $8,836 less than what we're showing.
So we're looking at about 7,500.
But the good thing is maybe we can pay some money out of this taxes for our next payroll, I hope, if we get time to get it.
Dude, are you gonna have another trailer sale, county trailer sale or something coming up?
We have the, I think it's in this week's paper, it's our tax agent every year has this time of year, they sell real estate and mobile homes that nobody has bought, that the county has bought, not really bought, but we got possession of, and they try to sell them, and it's, we got the catalogs over there now in our office, and I think there's something in the paper this week that they sent a press release for that.
Well, I was approached by a gentleman again a couple of days ago about a trailer sitting on his property that the county has possessed, and it's been over a year now, and it's still sitting there, and he just wants to know, he just wants it gone. He wants to be nice and peaceful about it, but he just wants it gone. I can understand it sitting there for over a year now, and not.
See, the county has a lien on it, but it's not really our property until it's sold, and then they get a title. So it's a I don't know, I've advised him before to go talk to Patrick, and there's no, I don't know what to do. I bought one just like that, and I just tore it down, and I had to pay the back taxes on it, get it cleared up, just to get the lot, you know.
So what you're saying, the county just put a lien on the place.
It's called a tax lien.
Right, but we don't necessarily have.
We don't even have,
Possession of
it's
the
not
title.
even in our name
Right.
until after, used to, they'd put it in our name, didn't they, John? And then they would get
Yeah, 'cause they
possession.
don't, because I noticed recently, they don't actually go for the
The
tax
deed.
deed until they have it sold, and they get a tax deed where it puts us in our possession where we can convey the property to somebody who bought it.
Wonder what's totally owed against it, do you know?
And the more and more I've talked with the gentleman, the deeper and deeper it gets. You've done found that out. He bought the property with the trailer on it, but he didn't buy the trailer.
Yeah.
Okay, I said, well, whoever owned the trailer prior to that should be responsible for removing it. I mean, it's been sitting there for over a year, he can't do nothing with the land he bought. He don't own
It's
the trailer, he wants to
complicated.
get
I don't
rid of
know.
it, but he can't move it. Who's responsible for moving it? You know, he wanted the county to come and just pull it off and put it on county property or whatever, but he's not getting rent off the property, he can't use the property, he bought it, but can't do nothing with it. So I understand his concern too, but
I do too.
I
I
don't know.
sympathize with him. I just don't know the answer, because
I don't either.
it's happened before when people left a trailer on somebody's property and.
Looks like before he purchased it, he was trying to get that resolved, you know?
well, the person that sold, he bought the property from, said they did move it, but it's never been moved, you know. And they've since left and can't find them, nothing else, you know. They just took the money and run, apparently. Oh, well.
There's one of
Or
them
is the
He said they
trailer worth
put it-
scrapping? Is the
No.
trailer worth scrapping?
He said they came back down there last week and put a new sign in.
Oh, did they?
A new sign, they want $695 for it.
Mhm.
Even got a price on it and everything.
Well, that's
Minimum bid.
That's the thing.
that's a starting bid. Anybody could bid, whoever bids the most gets it, but they gotta bid at least that much.
Chances are they're not even gonna bid
Nobody's
that, so then
gonna
what
bid
happens?
nothing, you can't afford to move for that.
You can't get that much in salvage if you tore it down, you know, you can't get that hardly much in salvage.
Well, it cost me, I give mine to somebody, material, and it still cost me about $800 to get the rest of it all off.
So, yeah, it's just sitting there, but he said they did come back by and say it's still theirs. He said it belongs to the county, that's what the gentleman representing said, it belongs to the county, and here's what it takes to start buying it, or something like that.
Has water been in it, Bill?
Yeah, about 2 foot deep in it, old trailer anyway.
I know where it's
So it's just not worth it.
It's not worth hauling off, and I don't know what, somebody's gotta have I don't know the answer, I don't know what,
He's been very patient, waiting now for over a year, waiting for somebody to just come get it and get rid of it. It's not his, he don't want it on his land.
but there is
5 gallons of diesel fuel might help it along.
There is
the house.
If I was him, I would get an attorney and go after this abandoned trailer ordinance, there is one, and he
In
could
the
probably,
city, yeah.
he could probably, he'd probably have to get an attorney to get it done. I told you a few months ago that when I got ready to retire, I'll let y'all know, and I made a decision that I'm gonna be December 28th.
Well, you're gonna retire December 28th?
I don't wanna go into the reasons, but I think it's time that somebody else would be best for me in the county hall. And I'll give you a written notice later, I just haven't had time.
Yeah, I talked to Glenn over the weekend, he said he's happy with what he's doing right now, he said he's had to get everything off his head and get out of it.
I know, we're gonna miss you.
I thought I'd stay till the first 2 years to help out on when you get ready to get it all, it did save a lot of work there, so. It's been a privilege to work for the county, put up with John all these years.
I'm gonna fix you up for it. Just keep an eye on topics.
I just wish I could have finished my term out, but between us, my health is not as good as it used to be, and
Well, I think we're feeling better.
Definitely don't need all the worry.
So,
Yeah.
surely no stress in this job.
what do we do for, like, What's the normal procedure?
John can correct me, but I think that what usually happens, that the party that you're in will have a recommendation for you all, and you all make the final decision.
Okay.
But the person that you do appoint has to be of the party, the person leading the most.
Okay.
Whether you go by their recommendation or not, but they still have to be the same party.
Okay. I didn't know.
I'll tell you something you could consider, and this is just not telling you what to do, but just consider that the county is getting, how financially strapped we are.
Yeah.
And I would ask the girls over in the office, because if you come down, just say we come down to a layoff again, and you got somebody that never has done that job, you'd really be losing two people, you know what I mean?
Because they're not trained.
If you had to lay off someone.
Right.
I don't know if they are or not, but I mean, that's just something you need to consider, because the way things are looking to me like it could happen.
So, whoever's interested in that position in your party has to get with the chairman of your party and start talking to those folks. Is that how it works?
I think they will get together and have a meeting, make a recommendation to you all, maybe one or two people for you, and then, but you all, I guess you all have a right to choose whoever you want to.
Is there like a time frame that, like 30 days before maybe get your time or something?
I don't know if there's necessarily a time frame. I think probably maybe 60 days after. I don't know what. I'd have to read that.
I want to let you all know, because state law does say I've got to have somebody that can replace me before, they got to be somebody capable of doing the job before I can leave the office.
Okay.
So I want to be sure to give you all plenty of time.
Well, it's going to be a lot different without you. I'll miss you.
Oh, you missed my tip. You missed my tip early.
Just keep an eye on topics, Floyd.
Oh, I never look at that, John.
Well, you better.
You're going to make stuff up about you.
Hey, I tell you what.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
If they can tell all the truth they want to, just don't lie to them. See,
Okay, thank you, Floyd.
I give you a letter, I'll make it official later.
Okay.
I don't know if Glasgow will be in today because I think they're starting the ground piling today.
He likes to watch them drive, does he?
He feels he needs to be out there.